Hi, my name is Nairi and I've been sharing my trigeminal story. Please check out my channel. You'll see there's several videos, probably about 5 or 6, explaining my journey with this illness. So I was diagnosed around about March time-ish, March, April. I started with the pain around about January of this year. So I'm almost coming full circle now to a full year. And today I just wanted to talk to you about kind of the ups and downs of the medication and how I'm faring with that. Want to talk to you about kind of sickness and indigestion, and want to talk to you about how I'm coping with daily life really, and how that's changed from what it was like from the beginning. Originally, when I first got to grips with the fact that I had this illness, that I was struggling to do much at all really, struggling to get out or do anything. I was quite emotional. You'll see in some of them that I wasn't really able to accept kind of like who I now was and what I could and couldn't do. And so I feel like I've come further in that journey, and my last video was called Small Steps. I feel like I am making small steps all of the time. So there are some drawbacks. So what happens sometimes with me is if I'm feeling well, then I will try and drop down to 1 tablet with the carbamazepine, so 200 milligrams. I try to drop down, and sometimes I forget and I just take 1 tablet a day because I'm feeling, you know, my pain levels are feeling good, and so sometimes it's not deliberate. I just forget. The problem with that is, I think, is if that happens for a couple of days, but then I need to increase the dose again, I do think that I feel the effects of that. And occasionally I've had a couple of evenings where I really have felt really spaced out, and actually when I went to church on Sunday morning I felt really spaced out, and I'm not really sure why, but I think it was because I'd had a couple of days on 1 tablet and then gone back up to two lots of 200 milligrams, and it appears to have quite an effect on me when I do that. So I'm sure I've said this before in my videos, I think I need to make up my mind, am I going to be on 1 tablet or 2 tablets? And I think on balance I need to stick with the 2 tablets. This is still loads better from being on 3, and even 3 not reaching the pain. So I feel like that's what I need to do, make that decision. But I'd really like to see a neurologist to discuss this, but I still have not had my neurology appointment, and this has got to be, it's got to be over 6 months now. So I'm thinking in the new year, if I've not heard anything, I'm going to go back to Maxillofacial, who said they would see me if I hadn't seen a neurologist, and talk to them about what to do about this, because there's a little part of me that feels like I might want to pay to see a neurologist, because obviously in the UK we don't need to do that, but there's part of me that's starting to think that I'd like to have some proper advice and actually, you know, speak to the people who deal with this all the time. That's my up and down with the medication. So up and down with sleep. Now this is a tricky one. I'm not 100% sure if the sleep thing has got anything to do with trigeminal neuralgia or just the fact that I'm a poor sleeper. I can't make my mind up. So sometimes I sleep really heavily and I really struggle to wake up in the morning. Now that's what I had first of all when I first started the tablets. It was impossible to get out of bed. So this doesn't happen all the time though, and I don't know whether it's because when I take my last tablet, my 2nd tablet, sometimes it's closer to when I go to bedtime. But I've had a few mornings where I've really struggled to get out of bed and I've been in a really heavy sleep, and then I get other nights where I'm awake for at least 3 hours, sometimes 4 hours. And as I say, I've always been a poor sleeper, so I'm finding it tricky to know if it's to do with the tablets or not. So jury's out on that anyway. Pain levels though are pretty good. Like I'll get the odd day where I start to become a little bit alarmed because I can feel the pain building, or I'll suddenly get stabbing pains here, but that is not very often. So I do feel that this pain is under control. So out of a week that might only happen, say maybe 2 evenings. It's generally the evenings where the pain is getting to the point where I'm starting to be concerned. So pain levels off and on. I will get the odd niggle throughout the day, which will be uncomfortable, but pain levels are under control. So for all of you out there who are starting your journey, you're never ever going to be able to do anything with your life again. That's exactly how I felt, but my pain is under control, and I thank God for that. I thank God for that, because you can't do anything when you're having flare-ups and you're in pain all the time. So that's my pain levels, that's my sleep. As far as daily life is concerned, obviously we've got the build up to Christmas, so happy Christmas and happy build up to Christmas as well. I think that I'm still doing more than even from my last video. I'm attempting more. So tomorrow I'm going to travel about an hour away and meet up with someone, with my husband. Didn't want to drive, still have reservations over driving any more than like 10 minutes away, and I feel like I'm a bit anxious about it because we're going to be out for most of the day, but I reckon I'll cope with it. I reckon that in the evening I will be absolutely out of it, really exhausted, but I feel that I can give it a go, whereas back along I wouldn't have been able to do that. Still moving forward. But then last weekend we had what we call like our town village fair thing, and it was quite cold, and I got involved with that in the sense that I was out in that for a few hours and looking at the stalls, looking at the fireworks, and then I couldn't understand why the next day I was absolutely out of it, and then I suddenly realised that yes, I had been doing a lot more the day before. So that's still the pattern. Do a lot in one day, pay for it the next day, but then gradually pick up day 3. And that is always the balance to have to decide, like, do you do more and then pay for it the following day, or do you do less and be more even throughout your life and don't attempt as much? Big question. I don't know, but some of the things that I get involved with are obviously for the benefit of my kids and for the benefit of other people that I love. So sometimes I think I am going to be prepared to put myself out for that, but it's really hard to know whether it's the illness itself that causes you to feel exhausted or the tablets, and my guess is at the moment for me slightly more the tablets. So one other thing that I am having a bit of a problem with, and I did have a problem with this in the beginning, then it went, and now I'm having a problem with it again, is do get a lot of indigestion and sometimes nauseous. So I'll eat something which is just ordinary, like I had a prawn sandwich for lunch today, and it was alright for the first hour, a couple of hours, but then later on in the afternoon I just felt really full, really bloated, a bit nauseous, and it made me feel really tired. And I guess that's the battle with my liver and my digestion and the tablets all together. And some things will be fine, some days will be fine, other things, it could be anything that will set it off, and I get a lot of acid, like reflux acid and indigestion, and that is an issue. I mean, obviously if I go and eat a load of pastry or fatty foods, then I've only got myself to blame for that, but it won't necessarily be that. So I could wake up quite late in the morning, not feel like breakfast, go and have a banana, and it'll just, yeah, even a banana will repeat on me. So I find that if I drink plenty, whatever that is, even if that is tea or coffee, if I drink plenty, I think I do better. If I drink water in between, I do even better. And I find that if it's really bad, then milky drinks, which I guess sounds obvious, but a milky drink before I go to bed actually really helps to settle things down. So I'm not due to have a blood test yet. I think I might be due to have that in January. I feel like in general things are pretty stable. I have my days where I'm down, but that is because, you know, my husband's busy doing lots of exciting things, helping people out of debt, visiting them, you know, dropping stuff onto them, and I'm not so much jealous of him, but it's more that I know I can't do it, and lots of those people I feel like I could make a good connection with and really help their journey as well as help him, but I know it's too much. I know it's too much, and we've talked about having these people around our house and entertaining them, and a few years ago I would have been able to do that, but right now I can't, and it's difficult to accept sometimes. But on the plus side, I'm running my other channel which is about adoption. I still do a planning channel which is creative, and so I'm still doing things, and I've started doing a lot more painting and artwork, which I'm going to hopefully turn into stickers, which will be like, it's kind of like a business proposition, but it sort of isn't, you know. It's more about my art and creativity. And I'm also writing a book for the adoption channel, so again, I feel like I can achieve stuff in my own time, in my own way. You know, I can pick and choose when I feel well to do those things, whereas if I'm planning visits to see people or I'm entertaining, I can't pick and choose that. And if I'm not very well on that day and I can't do it, then it's all on my husband's shoulders, and that's a problem. So guys, I hope this helps you to see that I am having some positives, I am still having some problems, but I'm doing all right, and I'm looking forward to Christmas. I'm looking forward to being around my family. I'm not dreading it. I know I'll have times when I've got to go and rest, and people will struggle with that, but I feel like I can say that I need it now. So I hope that helps you. Please subscribe if you haven't already, because then you'll know, and hit the notification bell, you'll know when I bring out another video. Sorry it's been so long as well, but I hope to come back to you again in the new year, and let's see what the future holds for me and for you. Thank you.